Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Stacy with Crafty Dragon Creations. Welcome to welcome to my crafting lair. Today we are going to be doing our project for in bulk. Last week I put up a video explaining this new collab between myself and Tracy over at Lottie's Magic Attic. This is going to be a year-long collaboration. Please go and check out that video for all the details and everything. We're going to have corresponding kits and freebies and all of that, and at the end of the year we will give away a prize to two people. One person. Sorry, one person will get a huge prize. There we go. But yeah, please go in and check out that video. So, the wheel of the year is fascinating to me, always has been. As I said in the previous video, it's turning of the seasons and celebrations of certain times of the year. So in bulk is the first one of the year. I think traditionally they'll start with Yule, which is in December, but we wanted to start in 2026. So we're starting with in bulk. And first of all, I am going to put my game piece on my game board. You can decorate this however you like. I'm going to keep it simple just for the sake of time and whatnot. But, and also just to give you an idea, I mean, it's pretty straightforward how this is going to work, but let's do it anyway. And as we do this, I do want to tell you a little bit about in bulk. It began as a very practical moment in the old agricultural year. It originated in Ireland and was celebrated widely throughout the ancient Celtic world. So long before there were calendars and planners and all of that, people paid attention to the animals and the weather and the light. And this is the time of the year that mattered because it marked the moment when winter stopped and stopped being only about survival and started leaning towards renewal. So this was the season when the sheep began to give milk again and things started coming back to life. Oops. Let's see, let's put this up here. It was a quiet but powerful sign that life was stirring beneath the cold ground. Food stores were still low, of course. And nights were still long. Let's just put that there. But there was reassurance in knowing that nourishment was returning. And that's actually where in bulk comes from, tied to the idea of milk and new life that is beginning. Okay. So for communities who lived, close to the land, in bulk wasn't about celebration in a loud sense, but was about hope with its sleeves rolled up, cleaning homes after the long winter shut-in, tending hearth fires and making sure light stayed burning, making new candles for the year. That was a big tradition for this time for Imbolc. Okay, so there is my game board. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do with this. I may end up having to fold it, but there's mine. Very simple. So now we're going to move on to our folio. Now, this is actually take 2 for me. So some stuff has already been prepared, but I will explain what it is as we go along. But I had to redo this because I realized we need a spine. So I did the spine. But like I said, some of the decorations and stuff are already done because I've done this video once before. So I'm going to score where the lines are on this spine. Whoops, there we go. So anyway, back to Imbolc. Oops. So over time, this season became closely associated with home, hearth, and gentle protection. Fires were kept steady, candles were lit, and people focused on safeguarding what mattered the most, and that was families, animals, and the promise of the coming year. So, Imbolc sits right in the middle of the deepest winter, the winter solstice, and the full arrival of the spring solstice. And that made it a threshold moment, you know, a pause to say, we're not there yet, but we're on our way. So as centuries passed, customs began to shift. Sorry, I'm missing a pocket. There it is. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, customs shifted and softened, blending into folklore, seasonal traditions, and later calendar holidays. But the heart of Imbolc has never really changed. It's still always about new beginnings and new life and the hope that we are going to continue. It's always been about watching for those first signs of life, caring for what's fragile, and trusting that the warmth will return, even if you can't see it yet. So yeah, it's a very very hopeful time of renewal and new life. There's traditions that hold fire festivals. Some traditions honor Bridget or Saint Bridget, depending on what tradition you're following. And she represents fire, fertility, and springtime. So I have in part of this, all of this is a picture of Saint Bridget, mostly a patroness of Ireland, but that is her. So most Celtic celebrations honored her in bulk with fires, and by making a Bridget's cross, which is this thing here. They've made it out of, you can make it out of anything. By the way, this is something that's already been created. They're traditionally made of rushes woven into 4-armed equilateral crosses. There are some that only have 3 arms, but this is the traditional one. And they were hung over doors and windows and stables to welcome Bridget and for protection against fire, lightning, illness, and evil spirits. So the crosses are generally left until the next Imbolc, where they make new ones for the renewal of the seasons. So that is Imbolc in a nutshell. There's lots more lore and traditional things to do, but it is a holiday to some. People will have a feast like, you know, you do for Christmas or Easter or whatever. So also included in this kit is a traditional Irish recipe called colcannon, which is traditionally made for an Imbolc dinner or feast. Imbolc also has different correspondences. So this is also included in your kit. There's colors that are associated with it, different stones if you like crystals and that sort of thing, different herbs, food to eat, animals, and then down here there's just some things that you can do to celebrate Imbolc. So that's a handy little thing for you in your kits. Okay, so I am obviously working on getting these scored so that I can build my folio. You can cut these off if you want to, but there's lots of tags and stuff to put in here, so you're gonna need a thick pocket if you want to put everything in there. I'm going to, just because why not. So at the end of the year, well, probably in January, we'll make a book or something to put all of this in. If you want to go ahead and create a journal of some kind to put all of your folios in, that's great. You are more than welcome to do that. I'm just going to kind of keep mine somewhere, and then at the end of the year I'll just make like something to put them all in, so I have something to go to and look back on and refer to when I'm ready to start a new year of celebrations. Okay, so these pockets are meant to crisscross. Okay, hold on. I am going to ink where my folds are on the inside so that I can see where to put my stuff. So I hope you follow along this whole year, because there are 8 of these events throughout the year. So yeah, this will be fun and a learning experience. Okay, so these 2 pockets are meant to crisscross like this and put together to make a single image. So they're both the same image. Now keep in mind that they're not, this one is going to come out just a little bit further than this one, so you can't just, you know, put them together because they won't match up. You can, you know, you don't have to match them up, but if you wanted to match them up, just keep that in mind. So let's see if I can get this. Okay. So I'm going to put this one down first, and I'm going to put it on this side. You can put it on the other side if you want. Whoops. Doesn't really matter which way you decide to go. So I would love to know what you guys think about In Bulk and its story if you hadn't heard it before. I used to, I hope that's gonna fit. I may have to adjust that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oops. Went a little too far on that. I accidentally cut it. So I'm going to take some washi tape and reinforce this. What was I saying? I don't remember. Yeah, I would also love to know if you guys, you know, made any kind of meal for this day, or if you did anything to celebrate. I am gonna be honest, I've never tried this recipe before, so I am going to try that. I think it sounds delicious. I do have grandkids that live with me that won't like it, but they don't have to eat it, right? Okay, so I'm just folding this in just a little, just to make a little more, it was hanging off a little bit, which is okay, but I don't want it to. Okay. So there's that. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so let's get this down. just gonna put this as close to the edge as I can, making it as straight as I can. Okay, and then let me ink up this one. Get my ink here. I'm just using ground espresso just to kind of highlight this a little bit. Even though this is like made to be one thing, I am going to go ahead and ink this just so that I mean, you really can't even see. So, but I also did not want any of the white to show, so. Okay, so. Turn. Alright. Let me get this straight, and I want that to match. There we go. And this will still close. Perfect. Okay. So these two pockets are the same way. They match up to make a single picture. Cut some more of that off. Let me make sure this one is going to fit. Oh yeah, that one's good. Okay. So I'm just gonna ink real lightly around this. I don't know why I always put my glue on my left side when I'm right-handed, and I have to like reach over. Why do I do that? Why do I do these things? Okay. So we're gonna put that there. And then this one. It will fit. Uh-oh, I should have raised that up a little. Okay, so how did I get that so off? Because that's what I do. Okay, can I get this up? Okay, so learn from my mistakes. I'm going to line this up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on first. Because this apparently is a little off from fitting at the bottom. I could also cut more of this off, but I've already committed to this, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, now we'll glue this down. No worries. Still have it a little off over there, and it's probably just how I cut it. I don't know. You know, I can't cut straight to save my life. Okay, so this piece that I showed you earlier, these are freebies from Tracy. So there's 3 pockets, and then she also provided some tags. And I'm going to put this on the back, like so. Like that. As you can see, I did this once before and I had to tear it off because so I'll just kind of center that on there. And there is pretty much our finished project. I think I'm actually going to put washi tape on the outside here as well, because that worries me. Let me find... And I think I'm probably going to sew this like into all of these into a journal, or make them into a journal. So I think that is my plan, but we shall see. Let that get folded there. Okay, so then we can take all of our fun stuff here and stuff it in here. And I did, this is printed on 80-pound cardstock. All of this is printed on 80-pound cardstock. And I printed on the back as well, So let's see, where do we want to put stuff? Let me make sure this is not glued down. All right, so we can put our little recipe card back here. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it'll go in here. There we go. And our correspondence sheet. Again, I've printed on the back. And then I have this tag, and I put the Blessed Be up there, and then I put that on the back. It's decoration. Let's see if this will fit in there. Okay, we're having issues. That does not bode well. But I'm going to put that there. Then we have this journal card. And I put that on the back. Let's see if this fits in there. Yay! Okay. And then our Bridget photo. And then we have all of these wonderful either little journal cards or ATC cards from Tracy. So I'm going to put those in there like so. I think on the back I'm going to put this tag at the top. Okay, and then there's this little one that can go down here. And what did I have? Oh yeah, this adorable one can go in there. And let's see, I did not punched those holes yet, but we can put a couple in there. We can put some more. Actually, let's put these over here. And then these. And these tags can all go in there. How fun. I love it. Stuffed. And oh, okay. I better glue this because that is not sticking. Okay. Sometimes washi tape is, I know it's not meant to be permanent, but I mean, you could stick a little bit. Although some of this might be old. Some of this washi tape was gifted to me, so I don't know how long it has been, you know, sitting around. But that's fine. That's what glue is for. There we go. Have fun. Lots of space to journal. You can write little prayers or sayings or quotes or memories. So there we go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I hope you follow along with this project. Like I said, it's going to be a year long, and there's going to be different little folios for each event, and freebies, and a big prize at the end. Yeah, I can't wait to see what everybody creates and how you make this your own. I know a lot of it is kind of done for you, but you guys are creative, so show us what you got. Make sure you follow me in my Facebook group and in Tracy's Facebook group. Those links will be listed down below, so that you can get the freebies and know when the new folio kit comes out. They'll be released about a week before each event, so yeah, be on the lookout for those. And happy in bulk, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.